Hello friends, and welcome to a video where I'm going to be taking you through Cambrils' one-bedroom apartment. Whilst the boys are outside, I'm going to take you through the inside and I'm going to talk about the services, amenities and the outside in a bit. So let me basically walk you through the area. So right now I've stepped in through the front door and basically this is the lounge area. In the apartments, you sort of have like an open plan kitchen living room space. So the kitchen is on this side, but the living room space means that actually this is actually a multi-purpose space as well. The sofa turns into a sofa bed. As it's a double bed, I think like 2 kids or 2 people can easily fit in that. And actually it's really comfortable. We're actually considering a sofa bed at home as well, and we were like, wow, where did they get this from? Because actually it's so easy to open and put back. So it's a really good one to like actually lay on. It's really comfortable. Anyway, let's talk about the cleaning routine and everything that they have. So basically, Cambrils Park Resort, every single day somebody comes and cleans the apartment, and they always set these cushions and the sofas back to like their starting point. So basically like all the cushions are nice and the covers as well, so you can have a look. Actually the covers are really awesome where they just go over and it's super easy. You can take those off obviously when the sofa bed is out and everything. So I've set my son's suitcase in, so I do apologize if basically there's stuff around because we've been living here for like a few days. So I've definitely and we've got the experience to share with you and explain to you what is actually like good and maybe what's missing. So I'm going to go through that in a sec. Basically they've got a TV, but most of the TV and channels are Spanish. Understandably, this is Cambrils and like about an hour from Barcelona in Spain. And they've got like a great unit with the European sockets at the bottom. So we have like a charging station down there. What else have they got on there? Some decorative bits, but obviously we've made ourselves at home and put stuff on top. My son's already found a branch. What does he call it? A sticky bash. So yeah, anyway. Joys of having a 5-year-old. You've got all the branches and rocks around, right? So you've got lots of great space, but obviously if you don't want people to look in, it is really easy to do this. The other thing is from the outside, you've got some shutters that you can use so that the sunshine doesn't come through. So what I'm doing now is actually moving to the dining room area. So firstly, lampshade looks blooming awesome, but you keep hitting your head on it each time you stand up. So if you're sitting in one of those 2 seats, even me who's a shorty, I hit my head on that. So maybe something to put up a little bit higher, but it does look nice. We've got like a snack section over here, but obviously what comes with it is obviously the four chairs, because even though it's a 1-bedroom apartment, because of the sofa bed, it can sleep 4 easily and actually really comfortably as well. So in terms of the kitchen, let's talk about the things that are there. Let's talk about what we've got. We've got the kettle, toaster, you've got the hob, but no oven. You've got the microwave, you've even got a great coffee machine. So just get some ground coffee. We've got both decaf and caffeinated. We've got amenities like, you know, a grater, a cutting board. What else is there? Cutlery, which you expect. You've got, you know, cups, plates, you know, washing up, which is great. You've got bowls as well, so we've used it as fruit bowls. But you can basically do whatever with those. The other thing is you've got a fridge and freezer, which is perfect. Freezer's quite decent. We've got the ice creams, ice in there, which is great, exactly what you need. And then a fridge space, so if you want to go to the grocery store you can. So if you're renting a car like we are going to the superstore every few days. We probably don't need to. You can go once a week, buy your load of shopping, and then you've got like a little shop where you've got like, you know, it's a small supermarket, it's a convenience store, so obviously the price is a little bit higher than a usual supermarket, but it gets you by. So if you just need milk and some ground coffee, you've got it. I wanted to show you before I move on that there's a little cubby hole for cleaning purposes. So obviously if you've got kids, it comes in really useful, where you've got like a mop and a brush and everything basically to sort that out. So before I forget, and you might see some remnants of white powder at the bottom here. So I was actually part of a Facebook group, Cambrils and Sanguli. Sanguli is another park resort which is about 5-10 minutes drive from here, a bit bigger and actually a little bit better for older kids, I was told. I don't know how true that is, but somebody recommended them for, like, you know, pre-teens and upwards. So apparently that's something to keep in mind. The powder is therefore just baby powder, and you wouldn't believe what it's for. It's for ants. So we already, like, I expected it because I saw it on the Facebook group saying that, like, ants is a real big thing here, because, like, even if there's any crumbs or food or anything on the floor, and even knowing that, my son's pasta fell on the floor, and an hour later, because I left the smallest gap possible in the back door, there was already a swarm of them coming for that pasta. So really surprised me, but at the same time dealt with it really easily because I had some baby powder, so basically like talcum powder, which apparently just like suffocates them basically. So tell me if I'm right or wrong in the comments. So basically, ant situation, make sure that you've got even a small pack of baby powder with you if you can. So aircon. They've got aircon here. Make sure that all the windows and doors are closed in order for it to work properly. But actually what I found, even though there's this grate up here, most of the air conditioning actually happens in the bedroom. So let me walk through into the bedroom and I'll walk you back there in a second. But the air conditioning comes from there, and actually this spot here, because the air comes from this side, goes to this side, and it actually comes down here where I sleep. And that's the bit that gets the most cold. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't know if you can change the settings, probably can. So it's probably just me. Anyway, I wanted to walk you back and walk you through the wardrobe. So we've got a wardrobe here, which is really handy. It took me a while to actually find it because it was so seamlessly placed. I was like, how can this bedroom not have a wardrobe? Hopefully you can see this okay. It's getting a little bit dark in this corner because the shutter's on in the bathroom, even though I opened it. I think it's quite windy outside. But yeah, I put my dress up, my husband put some shirts up, and then at the bottom there you can see a safe for where you can keep all your belongings basically. Keys, money, passports, that kind of thing. You don't need that around the park resort. Let me do the bedroom first, and then I'll turn the light on in the bathroom for you guys. So this is the bedroom. So it's a really big bed actually. I think it's a Super King that we've got at home, because my son does come into our bed in the middle of the night, and he basically fits in really nicely. There's plenty of space for all of us, so it's a really good, comfortable, big bed. Lots of cushions like you want. The other things I was going to point out is the fact that you've got separate lights down here. So there is a backlight up there as well if you want it. There is some light over here, like spotlights next to the mirror. So full length mirror as well, which is really handy. So that's one of my favorite features. And then obviously apart from the light, you've got the charger as well, and the little just stool basically to put some of your bits in. But the other thing is you've got another TV if you want it, which is on the wall. Really super handy. You've got more chargers, another light, another stool on this side as well. So it's all nice and handy and really well thought through. You've got more lighting and a window that goes to the outside, and a shutter if you want to on the outside, and even a curtain if you want to shut it during the night as well. So you've got lots of options for privacy, lots of options for sunshine. And let me walk you through the bathroom. So I've turned the light on. I do apologise for the fan noise. Every day they come in and clean this, and actually even though it said, or you know, the messaging, that they will change the towels every 3 days. They've actually been changing the towels every single day for us, and there are separate towels per person for the beach, or like not the big beach towels, you know, for the pools and everything. So basically, if you don't have those, make sure and get those. You can get extras. Actually, you put a deposit down, can't remember how much, and then you can take those towels, and then if you bring them back, you'll get the deposit back, basically. So you can have extras if you want to as well. Here you've got the usual amenities. Basically, you've got the sink, which does both water, so hot and cold, and you've got like a whole load of space here for your toiletries as well. So I do apologise for all of our clutter around. And then basically, if you wanted to see the shower, they've got both this one where you can just do your feet if you want to, and then the waterfall one as well, which is awesome. And then the window is quite interesting because you can, it's frosted, you can open up the frosted window, but then there's also a shutter behind this. So if you wanted to open this but still have privacy, you can still do so. And that's pretty much the gist of this, I think. So toilet paper is provided, which I was really surprised about. Like, I thought it's a bit of like I keep comparing it to a Centre Parks in the UK, where in Centre Parks you get a few toilet rolls, but then the rest you've got to go get yourself. But actually these ones, once one was gone, they put a new one in for us straight away. It comes with soaps as well, which is awesome. The only thing I would say that is missing is a little stepping stool for kids to wash their hands, you know, to wash their face. So my kids struggle. So either he steps on this bottom shelf, but then he hurts his feet, or you know, he's just uncomfortable, and then he sort of has to balance himself in order to do his teeth, or he has been using the toilet roll holder, which I keep discouraging him from doing, and that's why I put it onto the other side. And basically the other one, the actual toilet brush, is disgusting. So yeah, it's not the best situation for such a family friendly place. So all I'd recommend is like even a fold up little, you know, step for them to use to wash their hands. But yeah, there's a bin down there as well. So that's probably one of the only things that I would say. What else would I say would improve this space? So they've got everything. Wardrobe was one of them until I found it, so I'm really glad that there was a wardrobe in the end. They've got a full-length mirror, which is ideal. And essentially, I will give you a quick snap of the outside as well. There are like lounges and a little table with chairs that you can use, whether it's for the evenings or the morning, you know, your morning coffee. You want to go outside and enjoy it whilst it's not so hot, basically, or even during siesta, you know, you want a calm time and the kids are having a nap, let's say, and you want to go outside and sunbathe. You can do that in your own privacy. There's pretty much like private areas for each and every single place, I think. Or like, we are actually here with friends who have a 2-bedroom villa. They've got like a section at the front as well where they can sit down and socialise. They've got the 2 bedrooms, so a little bit bigger basically. So I've propped you guys up on a Pringles box, but I wanted to talk a little bit about amenities. So basically services that they offer. Obviously, it's a water park. You are living in a water park because it's a resort. You've literally got everything here. You've got restaurants, you know, left, right and center. You have a bakery, which I'm yet to try and I can't wait to try. Basically, apparently it's all freshly made in the mornings and they're very highly recommended. They've got places to eat, and although, you know, it's not like a 5-star restaurant, like a Michelin starred restaurant, however, like the food is really great. We had a really nice evening dinner with a mini disco. So basically, because it's like so kid friendly, they don't only have slides, like 5 pools, if not more. So one big one, which is connected to like the inflatables pool. So something else that I heard on the Facebook group is some people saying that if you do get inflatables, you're only allowed to have those toys in one of the pools, and it's quite small, which is quite true. but it's like all in one area, so people end up sharing inflatables as well. So don't find that you have to buy some. It's loads of fun to like borrow some people just leave it there and don't care, then come back to it later, you know, that kind of stuff. So it is really good fun anyway. But that one's connected to like the bigger slides. Then there's like a baby pool. I'd say there's two appropriately, you know, toddler baby pools. One of which is probably the coldest one. There's like a dragon slide, but and it's got other slides as well next to it. But because it's got like the sprays coming out of the elephants, I feel like that's the coldest pool, probably because of that. There's like a big pool, which is great for like swimming laps, you know. And what else? And probably our favourite slides are the ones, there's like a curly slide with like a normal slide as well next to it. So basically there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd say there's 5 pools, which is really awesome. So basically plenty of things to do. It's very kid appropriate. We've got a mini club, which we went to earlier, which by the way didn't cost a thing. I thought, like, when I went on the app, I booked it and I was like, it didn't actually tell me a cost. So I'm pretty sure it was free, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's free. So in the UK you have to pay for everything. I'm pretty sure I paid about 20, if not more, for like an activity to do with my son at Center Parks. So the fact that this was free, I was like, okay, great. And obviously the idea is that you leave your kid there, but I stayed with my kid and they didn't mind at all. So yeah, basically if you can train your kid to basically, usually when they're a bit older, to be on their own, you've got time to do other things. So the other amenities they've got is like a tennis court, they've got a basketball court, I'm pretty sure I saw football somewhere. Paddle courts is something else that I saw, and there's a gym as well, in the sauna. Look, there's literally everything around here. And obviously there's a bar, so there's lots of places where you can obviously have a drink or two if you wanted to. Going back to the mini club, actually we did a clay one, but they do arts and crafts as well. They do a mixed mini club where they do loads of things, whether it's dancing, whether it's a little bit of sports, you know, gymnastics. So our apartment is located near the playground, and actually we're on the side, which is a little bit quieter. So if you don't want noise in the evening, especially when it starts from 8 o'clock, there is a mini disco with lots of music, and then after the kids disco, basically there's like entertainment for the adults. And we saw a Michael Jackson band, which were awesome. They were so talented, great choreography, great singing, really got people involved and singing and dancing. So basically if you're into live music and stuff, it's great because it's near the restaurant. But if you don't want to hear that every night, and you think that your kids might basically find it quite disturbing trying to go to sleep and stuff, then make sure that you choose an apartment or a villa which is away from the main pool. So we are in 1013 apartment, and we are on the other side, where basically the furthest you can get from the main pool, and it suits us very nicely. It's right next to the playground, and the pools are basically just there. So it's all very like, it's quite like a small campus, but at the same time the noise doesn't travel to us, which is exactly what we want. So last few tips for if you're staying in Cambrils Park. So the things I'm going to walk you through, basically in the kitchen, make sure that you're bringing a towel or two, like a kitchen towel, because although they give loads of hand towels and bath towels and beach towels, basically I do feel like you do need something for the kitchen, just like one towel to dry, you know, cutlery and Tupperware, I think I was meant to say, cutlery, plates, things like that. So the other thing is you do have a dishwasher here, so just use the tablets that they provide, which is great. They give you loads, which is super. They also come, you know, with a bit of fairy liquid, which I'm guessing is in a sachet, and, you know, cloths and things that you might need. But a kitchen towel is definitely missing. Little oil for cooking is useful. Obviously you can buy that in the supermarket here if you want. If you don't want to buy it in the supermarket, I was thinking maybe getting one of those, you know, spray oils, and using that instead, rather than actually buying like a complete, I don't know, I guess you can buy a smaller one. Anyway, you need some oil for cooking, tea and coffee. So depends how much tea and coffee you use. We bought some here, but from a tea perspective, you don't want to buy like loads of tea because it comes in a box. So my friend actually gave me half of hers, which was absolutely amazing because I completely forgot. Baby powder for ants I've already mentioned, and then Tupperware boxes for leftovers is really useful, or packing lunch. But I really wish I brought some Tupperware boxes. Basically, we had some pasta for dinner and I didn't know where to put it without it drying out. You know, you're trying to put a bowl on top of a bowl, or like a plate over a bowl, just to like keep it from getting dry. But Tupperware box would have been really good, but also lunches. So if you want to go somewhere, then Portaventura is really, you know, the theme park is really close to here, so great for the older kids who can go on the rides. We're going for like a Barcelona day, so we're going to drive, because we've rented a car, we're going to drive an hour from here near the airport and then travel in by metro, because we heard that the traffic in Barcelona city is horrible. Don't know how true that is, but I'll take that advice. And the other thing is you can rent bikes here. So if you didn't rent a car like we did, you can get some bikes exactly like Center Parks, but you can go to the beach. So it's only 10-15 minutes ride and you can go to the beach that way. It's in Cambrils beach, is probably more recommended. So it's the more for the locals. It doesn't seem so touristy. We absolutely loved it. We saw a great cafe just on the beach as well, which had exquisite food, by the way. And basically somebody managed to give us a free paddleboard as well, so we really enjoyed our time in the sea, even though it was quite wavy. Actually worked out better for us with a paddleboard. So that is my advice. That's the services and amenities. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you do get to go to Cambrils Park Resort, because it's amazing, and I will let you guys basically enjoy it for yourselves. And if you do, please add any recommendations that you'll add to the list. I'll no doubt be coming here again. Thanks for watching. Bye, have fun.